Hi, I'm Brett from Metropole. Well, what could I possibly learn from an SAS Commander that would make me a better property investor? At the end of the day, it seems almost impossible to be able to draw a comparison between the two. Though there were several things that struck me after spending a weekend away recently with an SAS Commander, one thing stood out. It was not the harsh lesson of having to leave my warm bed for a cold swag in the bush or climbing a mountain in the moonlight. It was the process that he highlighted when making an important decision under pressure. Granted, the pressure of a military serviceman and a property investment person are probably worlds apart, but the steps in making a decision, along with the principles, can be invaluable. It all has to do with not rushing into anything too drastic, taking your time and making the right decision. Our SAS commander explained the situation when he was in Iraq. His job was to protect our allies and monitor enemy troops to making sure they're not launching Scud missiles. He wakes up one morning to find that in the distance there's a structure that has been risen through the haze. He's not sure if it's a Scud missile ready to be launched or if it's just a building. So what does he do next? Well, he doesn't rush into anything. The first thing he does is he stays calm. He consults those people around him. He's looking through his binoculars. He's consulting people at different angles and different viewpoints. He doesn't make the decision himself, but he seeks feedback from everybody else. The next thing he does is he seeks a higher level advice. Literally, he's looking for people who are flying above the Air Force if they can find anything and find out what in particular this is. While he's making those decisions, he knows he's got about 10 minutes to make his final decision before a Scud missile could potentially be launched. Long story short, he's consulting his people, he's finding out, he's getting as much information as he can before he makes that decision. He did not rush into anything. Finally, as the morning haze lifted, it worked out it was simply another building. Crisis, and international crisis more importantly, averted. So how do we learn from that, and how can we do that with property? And particularly at the moment, the last decade or so, there hasn't been a lot of pressure on property investors. Interest rates have been low, properties have been easy to hold. But as interest rate rise, inflation rises, and media attention and scrutiny continues to claim property prices are going to crash, pressure is beginning to mount. I know people who have already made decisions on what they're going to do with their property prior to anything happening. They've rushed in and panicked. I know people who have sold up because of the Queensland land tax, when 2 weeks ago that land tax is now going to be abolished. So the same principles can be applied when making a decision on your property portfolio. Don't rush into anything. If you've got a long-term plan and a long-term strategy, stay calm, consult people, consult your family, consult your finance strategist, your broker, your people around you that can give you the right kind of advice. Prepare for the worst, but don't make a decision until the last minutes, until you absolutely have to. I know hundreds of people who have made a decision to sell because prices might rise or the land tax may come, when in fact it's not even going to affect them. So that's my advice for today. Take the advice of an SAS commander. If you're going to make a decision under pressure, stay calm, consult people around you, and make the decision as late as possible to avoid all crisis. Thanks for watching.